Good evening, friends. So it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, an old backyard chilling video, and as you can see, I'm accompanied by some weeds because I haven't had time to get the grass cut. Drinking a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, one of my favorite leisurely type beverages, you know. I like stronger IPAs and stuff, but a good pale ale when you're just wanting to sit around and have, you know, more than 2 or 3 beers is a good choice because it ain't too heavy. I am about to smoke a Swisher Sweet. No, actually this is a Black and Mild, I'm sorry. Black and Mild wine flavored cigar. Now this is significant because this is the first cigar, and I know this is a cheap cigar. I usually smoke better stuff. But it's been a few years. I haven't smoked any since, you know, all the stuff went down. So, you gotta take care of yourself, you know. So this is a special occasion. So I'm gonna fire it up right now and enjoy the evening. What I'm looking at up there is Poncho will stay out here with me all night, you know. Oscar, not so much. So I have to kind of cater to him. So I might have to take a break and let him in the house. Hey, just part of being a dog father, you know. This is a match. I know technology is really speeding up quickly. But as of April 22nd, 2022, it's still okay to use a match. Even though it's kind of old-fashioned. And what you heard there is an empty beer can, because that is the preferred ashtray of a gentleman. It's been kind of warm today, probably the warmest day we've had going into the summer season, which, you know, we have about a week or so of spring here in Alabama, and then it gets hot, so it's gonna be like 85 tomorrow. So that's the weather report for tonight. I haven't been up to much, just you know, a lot of work, which is the life I've chosen as a blue-collar working man. I'm deep in the game though, you know. I guess I've been a part of the workforce in the great USA for 25 years now. And probably have a little over 40 to go, I would imagine. Be able to retire when I'm about 80, if I'm lucky. There's no grandeur or thoughts of grandeur and getting rich or anything like that happening here, you know. Of course, I could retire right now and just enjoy the things I have, but that would take some pretty significant lifestyle changes, which I'm just not ready to do right now. I still like to go out and eat and buy a new guitar every now and then, things of that nature. So I reckon I'll keep towing right along. I drive a forklift for a living, and I've been working for a corporation for many years, and it's been good to me. And I got my first new forklift in 15 years today, so that was a pretty cool little deal. I say I got it. I get to use it while I'm there. It's not mine. They didn't give it to me, but still pretty cool to be able to use brand new equipment. I haven't, on the personal side of things, I haven't bought a new vehicle since me and my wife bought one back in 2014, which is now almost 8 years ago that we bought a new vehicle. And I wouldn't know what to think about driving a new car. My car is a 07, yeah, so it's 15 years old. Honda, baby, rolling right along. Shiny new vehicles are just not my thing anymore. Maybe one day, but not as of now. Not as of now at all. It's nice out here tonight. Been working a lot on my music, trying to be consistent with that and doing that once a week, trying to upload something on every Friday. That's a task, man. It takes a lot of work to make quality music. Faking it until you make it, you know, that seems to be the way of the day, but I don't do that anymore. I genuinely try to improve as a musician throughout these years that are going on, and learn new material and new licks on the guitar. And it's hard. I won't say it's hard. It's tedious sometimes when you get in there and you're already tired from working, and try to, you know, put your best creative effort forward. It can be very tedious because you don't have the energy level that you probably need, and it really does take a lot out of me sometimes to specifically record multi-track songs, because I like to get everything just right and not have any repeats, because that's what, got a jet flying low over here. Birmingham Airport's over that way, so I guess about 15-20 miles. Sometimes they get a little low. Can be a little concerning. But no, I don't want to repeat myself when it comes to doing multi-track stuff. I like to I guess you would say have different layers to the cake, so to speak, you know, or different layers is the way to put it. I'm trying to find an analogy for that. Anyway, you never want to play the same rhythms. You want to be in the same time, but not have the same rhythm. So you don't want to have the same chord shapes, which is another big factor in making something sound completely different, whether you're using different tunings on the different tracks and things of that nature. It makes a significant difference, even if you're using the same instrument. So let's say you do 5 tracks with an acoustic guitar. If you play everything a little bit differently, it sounds like there's 5 different musicians there, which is something I strive to do. Of course, I've got my style and always put my flavor on things, but it's something that I strive to do to make it sound professional, even though it's recorded here in my little music room, using my gear here at home. I don't have any state-of-the-art stuff, but I do have good stuff, good home recording stuff, and I do a lot on the post side. So like I use Logic X or Logic 10, whatever you want to call it, to record a lot of the multi-track stuff that I do, and then I go in and do some post editing, which is very cool because you can pick different kinds of reverbs and things of that nature to really give the song its ambiance, if you will. And it's funny because I don't think people take musicians as seriously that do things on a small scale. But and again, there was a time that I was just recording the videos and the live performances, if you will, and that's fun. I do enjoy doing that from time to time still, but doing the multi-track thing is truly a dream come true for me, because ever since I was a little boy, all I wanted to do was make records like the Travis Tritt, George Strait, records that I grew up on, and I'm able to do that now and do it at a really good level. And I was actually watching an interview. If you have the Peacock Network, Clint Black has his own interview show on there, and he interviewed Steve Wariner, who is a phenomenal musician and just a master of the guitar, and always been a really good singer, and just seems like a nice guy, great guy. And he was explaining how his song Holes in the Floor of Heaven was recorded at his home studio at the time, and I was thinking, man, that song was a big hit, and it was on the radio and stuff. And he was just mentioning the fact that if he isolated the tracks, you could actually hear his dog barking out in the backyard, because he hadn't finished his studio at that time. They were just moving into their house, and he was doing it in the spare bedroom or whatever. And I thought that was pretty cool, because it's kind of what I do here. Hey, leads me into another subject. I guess the reason why people, and maybe I'm just projecting this, I don't know, but people don't appreciate or take it as seriously. People like myself that do music on a smaller scale, just releasing material a few times a month or every week or whatever. I think why it's not taken as seriously now, because of the laptop effect, which is what most of music is now. But I think that sometimes people think that it's rudimentary, or I don't know if that's the correct I hate to say that word. I've been reading, but sometimes I'm still not 100% on my vocabulary. But it's elementary probably would be the best term to say. But small scale musicians, monetarily wise, we still do a lot of work. I mean, like a multi-track song, and this is not a complaining session at all, but a multi-track session for, let's just say, the last two songs that I've released on YouTube, You Asked Me To and Live Forever by Billy Joe Shaver. Cheers to Billy Joe. I bet I spent 12 to 15 hours mixing and editing those songs. So 7 minutes worth of music took about 12 to 15 hours. So, and it's free, you know. Of course, I always ask and would have greatly appreciated if people join my Patreon, because $1 a month, you get all kind of good stuff, man. A lot of exclusive material, and a lot of some of these songs I cut multiple times, and not saying that any cut's any better. I mean, that's kind of out there for the listener to decide, but the ones that I may not choose to use end up on the Patreon sometimes. So there's alternate takes that end up on the Patreon, which is pretty cool. I think my cigar's gone out. And what happens when a cigar goes out like this is you either stop smoking it or you light another match. And I'm pretty proud of Mother Oski for staying out here with us tonight. What else? I'm reading a book. Reading a book as I do about Don Felder, the great guitar player from the Eagles. He wrote this book back in 2009, I believe it was released, and it's you know, it's his life story or whatnot, and then it's entitled Between Heaven and Hell, and it's his time with the Eagles, and I think that's what the majority of the book is about. I'm just now getting to the point where he joins the Eagles, and the amount of people that I love as far as musicians that Don Felder rubbed elbows with before he joined the Eagles is fascinating in its own right. I mean, Tom Petty, all the guys from Crosby, Stills and Nash, Joni Mitchell, a bunch of people, just a ton of people. He was doing a lot of picking. He's from down in Gainesville, from around where Tom Petty was from, and he actually gave Tom Petty guitar lessons when Tom was just a ute, as they say in My Cousin Vinny. But it's fascinating to read about the different avenues that got him to where he was. Of course, Don Felder, if you want to just talk a little bit about the work that he did that significantly changed the sound of the Eagles, Already Gone was the first song that he played guitar on, and you can tell it big time. He added more of a rock type flavor to the Eagles, got them away from the country folk a little bit. Not necessarily got him away, but it added a different dimension. He actually wrote the guitar parts for Hotel California, which, need I say more? I mean, that's one of the greatest rock songs of all time, and that's Don Felder, pretty much. I know Joe Walsh attributed later, you know, with them doing the double lead things, but Don Felder put all that together. But it's fun to read about his struggles and the things that got him to where he ended up being. and eventually he got kicked out of the band for some reason after the big reunion and all that in the early 90s and all that. I haven't got to that part yet, so I've got to I got to read up on that. I'm looking forward to finding out the dirt, if you will. It looks like Midnaitsky's about to want to go inside, so I'm gonna pause for the calls, and we're gonna come back actually and talk a little more. Maybe relight the cigar and drink the rest of this cold beer. You know. So y'all stay right there if you're tuning in live, public access television, or however you're watching All right, we are back, and this is match number 2 for the Black and Mild this evening. I'd like to say that I got some chairs here that I bought. All right, we bought. And that is what you don't want to do right there. That's a faulty match, which sometimes happens. But I got these chairs from REI, and REI is kind of pricey for camping gear and stuff, but I think we bought these chairs back in the fall, and they've been really good, man. I was looking for the old braided lawn chairs, you know, with the aluminum frames and whatnot, like you see back in the old days in the 80s, and they're coming back now, and I'm starting to see them in places, but at that time you couldn't hardly find them nowhere, so I got these from REI. What's cool about it is they got like straps, like you can carry them like you're carrying a bag. And we actually saw them from watching the Dome Life YouTube channel, a couple from out in Arkansas who do some camping. Actually, they live in a tent. They got a YouTube channel, it's pretty fun. But yeah, that's where that came from. I'm gonna sit back. I don't know how the audio is. I'll sit back. Hopefully it's not too different. Might be a little quieter. I don't know. I haven't been doing as much riding, although it is a passion of mine. I enjoy reflecting on old times and writing in my journals and things of that nature. Me personally, I have stopped posting very many opinions online without thorough thought going into those opinions. Just simply because it's such a hassle, man. Everybody's polarized, and I don't want to contribute to any kind of polarization right now at this stage in my life. The fellow who sold me this cigar was really nervous. I don't know why he was so nervous at the local supermarket, but he didn't really act like he wanted to sell it to me. And I'm about to be 40 years old in a few months, so I'm of age. I don't know if he just didn't feel like he's in a good place with selling tobacco products or whatever. But it's a pretty good cigar. I've never had the wine flavored. I was trying to tell him, and I don't know, I mean, if you buy one of these things every few years, you don't know much about them, most likely, if you're in my position. But they used to have wood tips, some of them, and I don't think this one does. But I kept trying to say, I want a wood tip, cigar, wood tip, black and mild, or whatever. I guess he thought I was saying wine flavored. I don't know. I talk low sometimes, hell, I don't know. But this is what I ended up with, and it's all right. Going up to Albertville next Friday to see Travis Tritt, and he's going to be playing. He has Leroy Powell, who is one of my favorite musicians in the world, is playing slide guitar and steel guitar now for Travis Tritt. Leroy made his name playing with Shooter Jennings back in the day, and then went on to do some great solo work of his own, and now he has ended up with one of my favorite musicians in the world. So it's going to be fun to hang out with my buddy Eric Bolton, who I have not seen in a very long time, and get to see Travis at a new outdoor amphitheater up in Albertville, Alabama. And I'm really looking forward to it. Travis Tritt, I had a little cassette player. And I'm trying to think of the brand. It was a little brown cassette player. My very first cassette player that my parents bought me. And I had Travis Tritt's Country Club album on cassette, and I would listen to it all the time as a little boy, because you got to think 89 was when Travis came on the scene. I was 7 years old. So I'm about to be 40 now, so over 30 years Travis Tritt and his music has been a huge part of my life. Not only just listening, hell, I've played a lot of his music over the years and tried to imitate and emulate what he's been able to accomplish as a singer and a songwriter. This will be the first time that I get to see him with a full band. Me and my wife went and seen him in an acoustic show back maybe 2013, a long time ago now. But it was good. It was excellent. Then the day after that, we're going down to Gulf Shores, Alabama for our anniversary, our 8th anniversary, and pretty excited about that. Always love going down the Gulf Coast, man. It's one of our favorite places in the world. tomorrow's a busy day. Gotta get the house cleaned up. Gotta get the yard done. All that stuff. So it's pretty much what's going on this weekend because it's Talladega race weekend. And when you live anywhere near Talladega, you don't go anywhere that weekend if you're smart, unless you have to, because it's just craziness. Lots of folks traveling, some folks questionable at best. It's cool out here tonight. Feels real good. I miss these old nights like this. I had a nap earlier. That's probably the only reason why I'm still up. It is almost 10 o'clock, and yeah, I remember many moons ago I used to stay up late all the time on Friday night, and one of my favorite things would just be sitting out and looking up at the stars and enjoying the cool night air with a cold beer and a cigar, possibly a cigarette, something I don't ever touch anymore. I've rediscovered my love about a month ago for thrift stores, which has been interesting because I'm buying a bunch of junk that I probably don't need, but I've started collecting. I'm weird. I've started collecting DVDs because I don't support a lot of these streaming services for various reasons. So I'm getting everything on DVD. I pretty much have got a lot of DVDs anyway, but it's like this weird treasure hunt when you go to the Goodwill. You find all these DVDs that you forgot about the movies or the television shows and whatnot, and they're like a $1.50. So I'm like, heck yeah, let's get about 10 or 12 of them. Bring them home and put them on the shelf. They look cool sitting on the shelf. I don't watch that much TV. I don't really know why I'm stockpiling all these DVDs, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm finna go inside and either watch a movie or maybe listen to some music or something, man. That nap, I slept for about an hour and a half now. I think I'm good to go for a little while, so I think I'm gonna stay up a little late tonight. Enjoy some quality entertainment. I don't know why. I guess just home movies. I'm an 80s child. 80s/early 90s is when I grew up, so I guess making these kind of videos and stuff have always been fun for me, just simply because I enjoyed home movies, and going back and watching them years later, and they're not that prevalent anymore, I guess, but maybe it's the equivalent of what podcasts have become for folks now. But anyway, I'm gonna go inside now. I think I'm about done with this, so time for a refill and time to put this out. So it's been nice to hang out with y'all, broadcast tonight. Got some folks over here at the neighbor's house tonight. That's very rare. My neighbor's 76, so I guess it's children, grandchildren or something, I don't know. Super nice lady, but she doesn't have company very often. I think her family lives in Florida or something, so they're over here tonight, so I'm gonna try not to bother him. I'm gonna go in the house, watch some old Sylvester Stallone movie or something. Anyway, y'all come on back if you ever want to try again, as old Charlie Daniels used to say. I'll catch you on the flip side.